Today I will be sharing how I adapt books to meet the needs of students with visual impairments. Hi teacher friends, welcome back to the Adapted Classroom. Welcome back to another episode of how I adapt that. And my number one tip would be to use tactile graphics with your stories. I created this very hungry caterpillar using furniture pads, you know, those little pads you put at the bottom of your furniture to keep them from sliding. I use that because it's thick, it's made out of felt, so it has a soft texture, and it was already cut into circles, so it was easy for me to make a caterpillar. And then I just went ahead and colored in red and green to make the very hungry caterpillar. My second tip would be to use real objects with your story. In the very hungry caterpillar, a little egg lays on a leaf. I have a real leaf here. Well, it's a fake leaf, but I have a leaf here that the students can touch and feel. I got this from the Dollar Tree. You could also use a real leaf from outside so your students can touch and feel the leaf. I also created this tactile board using the felt board we used from episode 1. I just put real objects that go along with our story. So we have an apple, a pear, plums. This plum is actually just blue Play-Doh on top of a round object so that it looks like a plum because I didn't have anything blue. Strawberry, and we have an orange. All of these play toys came from Dollar Tree. Then we have a cocoon that the students can touch and feel, and we have a beautiful butterfly. Another great tip that I found works in my classroom is to pair the objects with different smells. So I have chopsticks here. One of them smells like apple, one of them smells like strawberry. So when we talk about the apple, we can rub the apple chopstick on the top of their hand, and then they can smell apple. And when we talk about the strawberry, we can rub strawberry at the top of their hand, and they can smell strawberry. This way it's more meaningful for the students who are interacting with the story. Specifically when you're working with students who have CVI, it's best to reduce the clutter on the page. And so you want to have high contrast images. So for instance, this caterpillar is on a black background so it stands out more, and you want to put one object on each page. I've seen teachers take apart a whole book, take the images, put them on a black background so they can work with their students with CVI, and that's wonderful and that's great. But for teachers who want to save a little bit of time, I found this idea on Pathways to Literacy, which is a resource for students with visual impairments, and they suggested that you create these frames. So you could block out the busyness of the page and focus on one object on each page. And of course you can create different size frames. So this one is a little bit better on highlighting the moon. And if you get near the end where he's eating the different foods, you can highlight each food individually. You can also create strips. So these are just 2 strips and you can place them on the book. So now you're just focused on what's in the middle. So when I found that tip, I thought it was wonderful to share with you all because it's something that I will definitely be trying in my classroom this fall. It's also great to use lighted objects when you are reading to students with CVI or visual impairment. So you could also read the book on a light box, and you can also include lighted elements. So for instance, this is a light up ball, and you could use it for the part of the story where they talk about the egg on a leaf. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you found these tips helpful. I'll be back on Monday to help you adapt your classroom to fit the needs of your students. Bye!